I'm 29 years old. The name of my company is VZR Studios, acronymed Vibe Zone Records, because first you get the vibe, then you get the zone, or get in your zone, and then you produce a record. Without those elements before the record, it's kind of hard to record a song. I started off when I was 15, so ongoing about 15 years into music, just about. I started taking it serious after I made my own studio inside of a walk-in closet with had plexiglass and 2x4 wood plywood, like with a wall and stuff. And I started recording people in my bedroom, and then realized that I actually had a talent. I never went to school for music, um, so I basically would say that I learned from a lot of people that I've met, and ongoing in this journey, they always taught me something that never left from me. So I thank everybody who's ever showed me anything with music, and that's what really got me to where I'm at right now. I've noticed that the average studio time session would be probably about 2 hours. You'll have more serious people that kind of want to do like 5 hours and stuff, but just because an artist does a 2 hour block, it doesn't mean they're any less serious. It just means that maybe the funds weren't there, or they weren't allowed to allocate those finances to basically produce their dreams. So yeah, usually for a studio owner, you'll end up getting like a lot of 2 hour blocks. I would say the most challenging aspect of my job is maybe dealing with artists that don't take their career serious. I've learned to have the mindset that the studio may have been implicated to being almost like a tourist attraction. So I started to realize that some people just do this for fun or a way to get out of the normal, but in the same time, it kind of like makes it harder to distinguish who's serious and who's not serious. Just basically just trying to find common grounds with artists who want to be serious and people that you could see very often, so that way you could keep the studio alive. One of the things that gives me inspiration is knowing that I can make people happy with what they leave with, and being able to take that song that somebody wrote down in their room on a piece of paper or maybe on their notepad on their iPhone or something, and basically walk out with a creation, something maybe they didn't even expect for it to be like. So being able to give somebody that happiness is like A1 for me. One of the reasons I believe my studio is one of the best studios in the city is because when people come to record, I'm definitely not just letting them record and that's it. You know, I mean, if they're good, they're good, but we're human, so we make mistakes, and I'm always going to be there to let people know, like, hey, you need to do that part again, or hey, we probably should put some more energy. I mean, I've even been in sessions where I'm like, can you be a little more aggressive, or if they're talking about something like personal, I'm like, man, you don't even sound like you're talking about that time you had. You sound like this. So most importantly, I don't just hit the record button, and I'm not a yes man. So I'm always going to let somebody know when they're doing wrong. Not that they're doing anything, completely wrong, but like I said, we're humans. So sometimes it's good to have that ear to basically help you produce that production that you're trying to get finalized. In 10 years, I expect to have at least a warehouse, with the typical hallways, with the studio A, B, and C rooms, video production rooms, and basically expanding my networks, not only in the studio, but trying to endeavor into other businesses and trying to make sure that the profits and the capital is there. Only so it could all come back to music, because that's where I originally started. My ultimate goal, now that I've been getting older, I mean, at first it wanted to be just be famous, but everybody wakes up and says they want to just be famous, and you have to have something, I don't want to say more realistic, because nothing's impossible. We all have heard that before. But now at this point, I would at least be content with the studio and staff basically having their credits in some type of movie, for video production and stuff. So that way I could be like, okay, this is my trophy. I've done a couple things in my lifespan as a artist and studio owner, but I still don't feel content far as what has been achieved. So like I said, I just want to basically have like that trophy to show on the wall, like, hey, I did this. It's already been a rewarding experience, but there's still things where it would make it like I gotta keep going. My favorite part about doing what I do as a studio owner, mixing engineer, is that when people walk through these doors, they don't expect to have what they have sometimes. And just for the fact that that creation they took from their bedroom, those bars that they wrote on a paper from a beat, maybe from wherever they got it from, and they leave walking out, thumping their music on their cars, showing all their friends. That's probably one of the greatest achievements with VZR Studios is that happiness. So giving that happiness back to the community is like a major key to like my life.